Despite their unconvincing performance against the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have picked one of the semi-final tickets at the ongoing 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. And of course, ultimately, one of the 4 representatives from the continent that will be representing Africa at next year's FIFA's Women World Cup that will be co-hosted between Australia and New Zealand. And thanks to that header from Rasheedat Ajibade, very sweet goal. And of course, the Super Falcons, they are there in the last 4 of that tournament. And of course, the menace of match fixing in Africa is staring us in the face, and it is no longer done in the secret. It is now done in the open. You know, as we're just talking about the Inter-Allies and, of course, an Ashanti Gold of Ghana losing their appeal. You know, remember that match-fixing incident that involved the 2 of them. And the GFA resolved that both teams will be relegated. They appealed. And, of course, the GFA this week said those 2 teams will be playing in the 2nd and 3rd division, respectively, in the Ghana football. And as we were, of course, talking about that, something happened in Nigeria between Remo Stars and Ijebu United. In Ijebu United, both teams are clubs in Ogun State of Nigeria. In the State FA Cup, the penalty shootout, it was a clear case of match fixing. So those are the issues that will be getting our attention today on the show. And of course, much more, a lot is coming out from Ghana. We'll be talking about Otoado. We'll be talking about the coach of House of Folk. We'll be talking about Shanti Kotoko and lots more for you on the show today. On that note, I welcome you to Nigeria Super Fans Forum. Of course, you know it's your best football show in Africa. And Kadogundari is very much around. And of course, we have another big fish in there. I was talking about James Agberebi. Together today, we'll be taking on this very lovely ride. Kayode, Super Falcons, they are there already, but far from convincing for me. I don't know how you feel about it. Of course, now we know the 4 finalists, South Africa, the usual suspect, I would say, as far as this tournament is concerned. Just Zambia came into the picture, and of course, they did the business. And Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, and of course, the host, Morocco. But for you, what impression do you have about the performance of the Falcons against Cameroon?
I think this was by far their most tactical game. They showed that despite everything, the last program I told you, I said, I think the Super Falcons are a victim of their own very, very exceptionally high standards in Africa. Yeah, that they have created in Africa. Everybody expects them to be perfect, 10 out of 10 every time they play in Africa. Unfortunately, the level of the game on the continent has risen so fast, and enough countries have come up so quickly that it's no longer the case as it used to be that you. In this competition, the highest scoring game was a 4-1 victory between Tunisia over Togo, then the 4-0 Nigeria-Burundi game. So in past editions, you hear cricket scores like 9-0, 10-1. That is no longer possible. That has not happened in this tournament. Don't let me say it's no longer possible. That has not happened in this tournament.
I think it will be difficult.
It will be very difficult. That we've seen. So far.
Because this is African women's
football.
Very,
very tight games that you see. 2-1, 1-0, 1-1. In the quarterfinals, 1-1. Very tight games. So for me, I think it's a good advertisement for African football, women football, one. Then now to narrow it down to Nigeria, I saw a Nigerian team that dug deep. They saw the standard of opposition, and Cameroon gave a good account of this. But you know what? All through the game, Nigeria were never in danger of conceding goals, simply because the girls stepped up. They knew what was expected of them, and the formation, they interpreted it perfectly. We played a 4-3-3, and the 3 in the middle gets my special praise. I'm talking about Alimat Ayinde, Francisca Odega, and the 3rd girl in the middle. What's her name? Ngozi. Yeah, they really, really did exceptionally well. They were the reason why the Cameroonians were not able to penetrate our defense, because in that center of defense, I see a shaky Onome who time and again.
Even for the first time, I saw some shaky performance from Ohale.
Because of the pressure. Ali has been one of our most consistent. She, alongside Tony Payne, have been the only 2 players to have played every single minute of the 4 games so far. So she has been consistent. But yesterday, because of the way Onome played, this anxiety can be transferred. That, I think, was responsible for what you saw with Ohale. But for me, I think it was a good game. It was a good day in the office, and I hope that from here now, of course, they cannot lower their standard, because the standard can only get higher from this point on.
James, let's talk about Randy Waldrum. Of course, everybody thought we found someone who will improve the team. We saw again at Aisha Buhari Cup, and now yesterday, on the social media rather, the discussion was that he hasn't done anything to improve this team from what we saw with Thomas Denebi.
Yeah, when I watched that game yesterday, what I was expecting was a Super Falcons who I believe would have grown into the competition. But for me, what I saw was, I think being this Cameroon scored first, I don't know if the Falcons would
be able to respond.
Especially what we saw against South Africa. You know, for me, I don't really see much difference in the team. I've not really seen that impact. That we all watch the Super Falcons
because if you are bringing a foreign coach, you should see that difference,
you see that
impact.
But so far, I've not seen that. But based on what they played against the Cameroonians, for me, you know, when you get to this stage, this is a knockout, very crucial stage. This is not the group stage where you can get away with some games. Maybe you lose this game, then you can still bounce back. So once you are out. You know, so for me, just like what Shake said, the tactical display. It was a game of who scored first, and luckily the Falcons got the first goal and they sealed it. So it is not a game where you start, you just, when you get your opportunity, you take it. It's a game of the chances come at the premium. So luckily we got our own and we held on to it. And the Cameroonians, from the way the game was going, I just knew that they are not going to score. One, you have the goalkeeper, one of the best around. Before
Anadozie.
You know, she will always been composed. The defenders today, they had a hectic time yesterday, but good.
Particularly towards the end of the game.
Towards the end of the game, even
the pressure was really high.
Who used to bank on the Alozie who came on? She treated at a point. I think she was G3.
They asked to go through to everybody.
Luckily, they met a team that the attack was not too solid,
too sharp.
Luckily for them, that they are an experienced team. We've seen them go through this kind of stage before. And as the team, the competition progresses, I know a lot of teams now will trying to avoid it because the Super Falcons, no matter how bad they play, they are a very experienced team.
Yeah.
They've been in this position. They played against Cameroon in 2016, right in front of
their own fans.
Everybody.
They defended, so that I'm not too bothered about them playing against Morocco. I believe with that experience, it will lead them on. But I'm very happy that they've qualified for the World Cup. They are not going to go through this intercontinental playoff and all those things. So they've qualified, and we thank God for that.
I'll still come to you, James. Kayode, let's look at the quarterfinal, the semi-final rather, against Morocco. Kayode, how do you think this team can cope with the pressure of the home fans, then the referee as well? Because the pressure will be on the center referee. Because even yesterday against Cameroon, we saw, I don't know whether you noticed a number of decisions that I feel should have gone Nigeria's way, like the infringement on a goalkeeper. I think there should have been a yellow card because she could have been out of the tournament.
I quite agree with you about that, but then you cannot rule out some honest mistakes from the referee. I don't want to believe that she deliberately took those decisions against Nigeria. They were things that were one off. But then James just said something that took practically the answer I was going to give you to your question, that these are battle-tested players. They played at this level. They played.
Remember, we have 13 players making debut in this tournament.
Yes, but yeah, I'm going to go to that now. That's one of my own criticism against Randy Waldrum, that those players that you said, we have not seen them come into prominence in this competition.
So why bring them?
That's the point, because the players who are still holding this team, apart from Tony Payne, the girl who played our what do you call it? No, I'm talking about Tony Payne now. That girl has been outstanding. She has played all the games. Apart from her, what's the other girl's name? Uche Ibe. Those are the new faces that Onomonu has even been around the team.
Yeah.
So apart from that, the old warriors are still the ones carrying this team on their back. Alimata Ayinde has been outstanding.
Because if not for injury,
Asisat will still be in this competition. Odega is still there. Okobi is still there. And we saw the experience of Okobi in the goal that was scored.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by this team still being carried by the new. So we have not given enough chance to the new players. I'm still saying the best player in that team is Gift Monday. She has not been allowed to show what she's capable of doing. When you bring her in,
she came on almost
90th minute.
The game was already.
So what do you expect of her? And a small girl, a young girl like that, not a small girl, a young girl like that needs all the support she can get. Throw her into the game. I expected her to have played much more than she has done. So if you do not allow them to play, where do you want them to get the experience? So for me, I'm not scared if Nigeria go ahead to lose against Morocco, it will not be because they are playing the host. They have played host, or practically, they played the South Africans when South Africa hosted. Yeah. They've played Cameroon when Cameroon hosted. They played Equatorial Guinea when those. They played practically everybody.
So for Nigeria, the standard is falling, or because the other teams are measuring?
Not really that the standard is falling in Nigeria. What it means that Nigerians have not progressed too much, and the others have come quickly to balance up the equation. Now, like I said, we have 4 very good teams in the semi-final. Before this edition, it would have been Nigeria against 3 other teams in the semi-final. Now, any of these 4 are capable of winning the title. Nigeria, Morocco, Zambia. Have you seen the Zambians play, Femi? They are one of the most entertaining teams.
I was really happy when
they beat Senegal. Yes, I was actually rooting for them to beat Senegal because they deserved the victory. So for me, it shows progress now. The team that went to the Olympics, we thought it was a fluke
by Holland. It showed that they have actually
they have progressed. So for me, Zambia, they are capable of winning this competition. Nigeria, Morocco, they are all capable of winning this competition. All the 4 teams are very, very strong. I think the 4 strongest teams are in the last 4. So for me, it shows that while Nigeria were slumbering, not sleeping, we were slumbering, Africa was up and doing. Now Africa has caught up with Nigeria. The rest of Africa, they have caught up with Nigeria now. So even though we are still Africa's strongest team, the gap is not as it used to be. So for me, it's going to be a beautiful semi-final appearance.
James, let's talk about the 4 losers now. You know, we've talked about the semi-finalists, going to the World Cup automatically. So the 4 losers, they're going to play against each other on Sunday.
Yes.
Then, so that they will know the 2 best teams will play intercontinental playoff for the last 2 slots in Africa for next year's World Cup. Let's talk about the 4 losers now. We have Botswana, Senegal, Cameroon, Tunisia. Which of these 4 teams do you think at least should be able to at least pull through in the playoffs?
For me, I think Cameroon and then Senegal.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
But the Tunisians also, they gave very good account of themselves against. They were lucky against South Africa.
No, I watched the game against South Africa. What thing about the Tunisians? They are not clinical. They can, they can move the ball. They can.
And they have very good movement.
Once they get to that final third, they just lose it. So for me, that's why I said Senegal, they are an experienced team. They've been pushing. They've been knocking on the door. They are one of the teams I expect to have, gone far. Not even Zambia. I'm surprised that Zambia is even now one of the strong
contenders
teams in Africa. So for me, like I said, Cameroon, they've been there all along. So I'm tipping Senegal and Cameroon to go on and represent Africa at the intercontinental playoff.
Okay, Kayode, let's leave WAFCON now. Let's come to this issue of match fixing. See, it is no longer something that is done even in the hidden. I think they perfect their plans in the secret, then come to the field. Excuse me, to make everybody look like a fool. We saw that Ogun State FA Cup, that shootout between
the clip. Everybody's seen the clip.
Between Remo Stars and Ijebu United. Kayode, all my life that I've been watching football, I've never seen someone play a penalty out to a throwing.
But your small doctor said it's possible now.
Or maybe his prophecy actually coming to pass now. Because
he said it's possible to play penalty to throwing.
Kayode, we saw the first kick in that penalty shootout. You saw the goalkeeper was motionless. Now I think we've seen that. Of course you've seen goalkeepers remain motionless and they don't shootout, but kicking a spot kick to throwing, Kayode. Just as, we've talked about a lot of inter-allies and Ashanti Gold, the match-fixing stuff in Ghana on this show. But right here in Nigeria, Kayode, this is playing out in our presence.
Before we came on set, I was telling James about my old professor while I was in the university. He would say, if you're going to cheat, if you're going to steal and show that with intelligence, there are ways you could still fix games and still make it look believable. You understand? That guy could have played that penalty over the bar or by the side of the post. Nobody would have been wiser for it.
And sorry to cut in. The most shocking thing for me that after he kicked the ball out of touch, he now put his hand on his head.
That means he was fooling himself. You understand? For me, I think he could have played the ball over the bar or by the side of the post, and nobody would have been the wiser for it. People lose penalties every day. And the goalkeeper could even have attempted a dive.
Oh, the goalkeeper should dive to throw into.
No, he could have. He could have dived in the direction of the ball and still not catch it. Yeah. But we will still not.
At least pretend.
And we just say, and he tried. He tried. So you should credit the onlookers.
Has even hit foreign media.
Exactly.
No longer within territory.
Because when match fixing happened in Ghana and Sierra Leone, we talked about it here.
Yeah.
So it's global. Everybody will talk about it too. We shouldn't see, you know me, we shouldn't cover what we should not be covering. It's in the Belgian press already. This program will take it to Ghana, to South Africa, to Australia, all over the world. They will see what we are seeing. That this issue of match fixing has become a pandemic, and it's no longer funny.
This is even worse than COVID-19.
It is worse than Ebola. We should be doing something about it. I expect there to be consequences for this. If there are no consequences, then I know that it has official backing. And that's so sad.
James, I think we should remind people that jail is not only for people who steal money.
This is stealing.
Oh, it is actually stealing.
It is actually stealing. You are stealing people's emotions. There are people who are emotionally invested in these teams. And you do this kind of rubbish. You think people are happy. Even if my team were to be a beneficiary of something like this, I would still not be happy with you. Because you are not crediting, you are taking it from me to be a fool. You are not giving me any credit at all for my intelligence. If you could play a penalty this way, or a goalkeeper that I pay to come and watch does this on the pitch, I will stone him.
James, what is your impression about this?
I felt ashamed.
It is what we see every day. It's just that, I think it's just that some other things, like how they say, they got more intelligent.
Yes, at least they should have credited us with intelligence.
Right in the face of everyone. I don't know what the NFF or the LMC will do about it, because they need to call.
Is the FA is the duty of the NFA?
Yes, let's
NFF,
assume,
rather.
But of course, the NFF, I think they supersede football in Nigeria.
Yeah, is an NFF. No, it's an NFF competition. It's not the LMC now. LMC is in charge of the league. Yeah. So this is an NFF this thing. We expect NFF to do something.
As I said, the NFF, they superintend over football in Nigeria.
Yes, should.
So they need to call the Ogun State FA to, as a matter of fact, summon people to Abuja or wherever and ask them what is going on here. Oh. And I'm so shocked that Raymond Stars, Mr. Akunle Shoname, his club is involved in such a thing. You know, we've told a lot about what he's doing with Raymond Stars. Yeah. But for the club to
be involved in something like this is a very shameful thing. Yeah. Very shameful thing.
It's that time they start hammering teams.
That's the point. God bless you, James. Kind of things to those. When you punish people, others will learn.
In Sierra Leone now, they're investigating a very scandalous scoreline. Fine, we all know that football is all about goals. But there are some goals that will be scored.
I'm sorry to say, 95-1, right?
95-1.
It's not possible.
Manchester United did not even score 95. The entire team didn't score 95 goals all last season.
It's not even possible.
And the team scored that in just one season.
It's not even possible. Realistically, it's not possible to score 90 goals in a game. It's not possible.
Football is all about.
But it happened.
It's not possible. That's why we say it's not possible.
Wow. Well, hopefully, we hope that the Nigeria Football Federation will do the needful regarding that, because it is shameful. It is shameful. It is shameful in all honesty. I don't know how anyone would want to paint that it is shame, particularly, and I think people should be jailed, not just suspending people, the club chairman being thrown out of the league for eternity. Let people go to jail for issues like this. We'll quickly go on this very brief. We're about to talk about a whole lot of what is happening in Ghana. Just match fixing, Inter Allies, and of course Ashanti Gold. They had their appeal thrown into the basket by the GFA, and all kudos to the GFA. We'll be back to talk about that. Please stay with us. Yeah, welcome back, and it's still Nigeria Super Fans Forum. Of course, it's your best football show in Africa, and really, I'm not happy. Just trying to smile because of the news, the things that we hear happen in African football every time. Match fixing, we've talked a whole lot about violence. Remember last week, we even talked about a referee being headbutted in Ghana and all that. And now, what just happened in the Nigerian football, where players kicked penalty kicks out into throwing. I've never seen that in my life. I only heard it in a song as Kayode actually made the proper reference. But Kayode, let's take a trip to Ghana again. Kudos to GFA. They've thrown out appeals by Inter Allies and Ashanti Gold. So meaning that Inter Allies will go down further into the pecking order. They will play in the 3rd division, while Ashanti Gold will be playing in the 2nd division. And of course, also with the chairman of both clubs, of course, we're talking about Dr. Kwaku Frimpong and Emmanuel Frimpong are both on long-term bans. But again, I think what I said before we went on the break, people should go to jail. Jails are not only meant for people who steal money, people who kill, criminals. These are also criminals. What do you think, Kayode?
I agree with you 100%, and I think going to jail will serve as a moderating influence on people, on other people who want to do something similar. We've seen it happen everywhere. See, match fixing, match gambling, all of these are criminal cases in other crimes, in other areas of the world. Like I've always told you, I think I've said this 2-3 times, the former president of Olympic Marseille went to jail, Benatepi, for something like this. He lost his position, and he was actually a millionaire.
Even remember Kashopoli in Italy.
So people have to go to jail in order to send a signal to others that this thing is not going to be allowed. Because see, when you fix games, you do 2 things. You deprive fans of the true emotions that they should have in games, because whatever they have is not superficial. Then the second, you are awarding victory to those who do not deserve it. So for me, it's a criminal offense. And until we start criminalizing it, people keep getting See, giving people FT bans like this is good, but it's not enough. It's not enough. When all these teams play in the lower divisions now, they will know why they are there. Unfortunately, there are some who are not involved, who just get caught in this stream. But hey, it is what it is. You cannot begin to choose who gets punished and who doesn't get punished. The club in its entirety. And one thing, Femi, that I need to say is when you are punishing people with bans like this, you make sure that you make it have a worldwide effect, not just in Ghana alone. Because somebody will be banned with Ashanti Gold now, he will leave Ghana and go to Ivory Coast or Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and go and play. Or some are even much more brutal. They will not go. They will just do a change of name.
Sorry, look at that referee that was admitted last week. He was on ban. And the referee association in Ghana, they are trying to find out how he got
appointed to officiate another game. So some would not even go. They will stay in the and they will just add, like, if it's Kunle Ashaolu now, he will just add Kunle Femi Ashaolu to his name. And they will say he's a new player. So people should be...
People are cunningly, I don't know how to put it. James, let's talk about this same match fixing issue. It happened 2 seasons ago. But the GFA, they made sure that they saw this to a logical conclusion, in the sense that they pursued the case. And a particular defender actually came out to admit that he scored 2 own goals in order to force the match fixing. But in Nigeria, if we are to even open this kind of worm, who will even stand? But beyond that, I think in Nigeria, things I don't know if the LMC or the NFF now have a committee that actually try to find out if things like this happen in Nigerian football. But how do you think we can actually imbibe stuff like this? Because something happened 2 seasons ago, and the GFA, they still stood on the matter and made sure that people got punished appropriately.
Yeah, it shows that the football authorities here in Nigeria, they are just treating all these things like
with a kiss glove.
Kiss glove that they do.
Because when people perpetrate violence, make life-threatening assault on other people's lives, they only get punished, and that's all.
Because if things like this continue, which means you are removing that excitement. Because why would I be watching a football game now and I'm not even sure that I'm even watching a real game? That this game might be fixed. Even the slightest of incidents, I will start feeling they don't pay for this thing. You know, you are now removing the excitement, the passion about football. So the FA they have a lot of the NFF, they have a lot of work to do. It's not just if something happens, you just let it go like that. Just you send one team to another venue, you ban it. No, you start hitting things hard financially. You send people to jail, deal with people. You are removing the excitement. You are killing this game. This game is about passion. When I watch, I want to watch football and feel happy. Not that I'll start doubting.
I don't know whether we have any clause like that in our statute. In our LMC statute.
Yeah, but it's about the will to do it. Exactly. It's about having the will to do it. See, all of these are envisaged and provided for in our laws, but it is about having the political will to do this thing. Look, take the case of Kano Pillars now. If not for the outrage.
Why did you take that out of my mouth?
Yeah, if
I was
not
about
for
to say Kano Pillars, LMC deducted 3 points.
Yes.
And they told LMC that they would not accept point deduction.
Yeah, if not for the outcry, the outrage by others, LMC had actually wanted to waive it. Yes, sir. So until we have that political will, we have to build the courage to do what is right and stand by it. If you do not, then whatever you have in your law books are just there for decorations. So we have to get to a point where we actually apply the laws. The laws are there. They are not just taken from thin air. We already have them in our books. But you have to apply them appropriately.
I don't think Africa has even started anything. Anyway, let's still remain in Ghana. Let's talk about the GFA, the Ghana Premier League. They are on the verge of, according to a report by Defender in Ghana, they are about to sign a whooping $1 million sponsorship deal for the 2022-2023 season. That is highly commendable.
It is.
$1 million in a league in West Africa?
It is highly commendable. But for me, honestly, if you ask me, we've seen... I hope that this deal comes to be one. Then two, when it does, I hope the constituent parts, the league teams, get a fair share.
They've said it. They said media, media. Okay.
Hold on. See, I hope the deal comes to be one.
You have doubts,
when it
right?
does,
you have doubts,
wait,
right?
When it does, I hope the constituent parts, that's the clubs, get to have a fair share. When they do, the most important unit in all of these arrangements will be the players, because a club can play without a club chairman, a club secretary, a bus driver. But you are not a club if you don't have players to actually do the play. You cannot do if you don't have players to play, you do not have a club.
You do not even exist.
You do not exist. Thank you.
Because
So whatever monies come through, the first thing is let's pray that the deal comes to be. If the deal does, let's pray that the teams get their fair share. And when the teams get, let the players also get what is due to them. And when I say they should even get the largest chunk of the pie. If that happens, then it will be fair or not concerned. That's my fear. Maybe I've been around for a long time. I've seen all of this come to where I'll say, we are going to sign 200 million deal. It happens in the Nigerian league too. We're going to sign 500 million deal. We have a contract with this person. We have an agreement in principle with these people. At the end of the day, we don't see it. And the ones that we see, it doesn't get to the club. When it does, the players don't get their fair share. That's not the way to run a club, to run a league. So hopefully, this will be a fair arrangement to everybody concerned.
Okay, James, let's talk about Ghana, their preparations for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Otoado, at least for the first time, he's talking about the new 6 players who will be available to him. Of course, Inaki Williams, Salisu Mohammed, finally. And then, of course, we have Tariq Lamptey. He's saying that, of course, he believes that these players will bring quality to the team. And he was coy about taking them to the World Cup because he was saying that they know what they are getting into. And, of course, he said there will be more World Cups. I'm paraphrasing what he said now, more World Cups, more AFCON. But let's look at it now. For what reason does he even think these guys actually decide to play for Ghana? For someone like Otin Odoi, the Chelsea star, he said he will change his alliance to Ghana if they qualify for the World Cup. But let's talk about that. What do you think Otto Addo will do with this player? Will he take them to the World Cup or just prepare them for subsequent tournaments for Ghana?
I think these guys they decide to play for Ghana because of the World Cup. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Honestly, these guys are coming to play for Ghana. Remember what Inaki Williams said some time ago, that he's more Spanish than Ghana. Why all of a sudden now you're not a Ghanaian?
Oh, you won't say that?
Yeah, he said something like that. He feels more, many of these guys, they... But
because the Lafuri Aroja, they even consider him.
We shouldn't deceive ourselves. These guys are decide to become Ghanaians because of the World Cup. And the sad part is, a lot of the guys that played during the qualifier, who played against Super Eagles, who secured this ticket.
You took that off my mouth.
They are going to be it's not going to be nice. It's not good.
To be honest, if Inaki Williams said that, I think he has a point. He's actually more Spanish than Ghanaian.
Because he was born there? Because his parents migrated to Spain?
If you bring him and drop him in...
But I think some segments are very sensible.
See, these guys, because of their worldview, because of their upbringing, they do not know how to be diplomatic. They say things the way they are.
Exactly.
They say things the way they are. Femi, the truth is, these
which
players...
we don't do in Africa.
Yeah, we don't. We are more diplomatic. We are more economical with the truth here. If you drop him, close your eyes and drop him anywhere in Ghana, it will feel like drop him in major cities, actually. Even in Accra or Kumasi or Cape Coast, he will feel lost. That's the truth.
I saw that clip that was done for him. He spoke in Spanish.
That's the point.
Sure he can't even speak.
That is the point. So for me, he's right. He's right by saying that, yeah, he wants to play at the World Cup. That's why he wants to change his nationality. But the fact that he has not even forgotten that he has Ghanaian origin is something for me.
But could it also be that because Spain ignored him?
Let me say something.
Could it also be that Spain ignored him?
It's possible. It's possible. Let me say something. Despite the fact that it's not about the players' circumstances now. Look at Marcel Desailly. He never got to play for Ghana. But do you know what? In 2017, I was in Ghana. I saw the sports complex that he built in East Legon. He didn't employ French people, employing Ghanaians. This was a world-class sports facility. It's in East Legon. That was, for you to know the standard of that facility, it was where the Zambian national team camped before they came to play Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers. So for me, and they were Ghanaian staff, ex-internationals, people, groundsmen. Do you understand? So he did not go and bring French people there. These people know that Africa is their home, Ghana is their home. But because of circumstances, economic circumstances of their parents, they find themselves outside Africa. When the need arises, they will come back, they will do what is right by Ghana and by Africa. So for me, yeah, situation arises, they know that, okay, he's not that, he's upbringing everything, his socialization is Spanish, but he knows he has Ghanaian blood, he's ready to play for Ghana now. If you want him, don't forget, it is not automatic that he has to play for Ghana. He has said, expressed his will that, I want to play for you. It is not left for you if you want him. With or without him, Ghana will not win the World Cup. With or without him.
You are countering that prophet again.
No,
that prophet.
That man is a man. Let me just leave it at that.
Man of God.
Yes.
Oh, he's a God of man.
I'm also a man
he's
of God.
God of man.
So for me, the truth of the matter is, let's not deceive ourselves. These players want to play, like James said, because it's a World Cup. They want to go to the World Cup. Then there are manifest and latent reasons for doing certain things. If he's playing for Ghana, will bring more goodies for Ghanaian football and for Ghanaians generally. I am all for it. Like what Desailly did, like what Tony Bafo is doing back for Ghana now. Tony Bafo grew up in Germany. But he came back to play for Nigeria, for Ghana, and he's doing well for Ghana now. So for me, let's just take these guys as we see them. It is not their fault that they were born abroad or that they grew up abroad. The fact that they are even willing to come back in the first place is something. But when they now start holding us to ransom, that's where I will draw a line. That I do not agree. No, you can't do this.
So I think the way the real test will be after the World Cup.
Yes.
You know, this are AFCON and the
yes.
schedule.
Yes.
That's where we now know
whether we want to play
World Cup.
Yeah.
Because when we have AFCON in January, you know the way we shift it.
Yeah. Yes. Will they be ready to even tell their clubs that I want to go and play?
Yeah. Let's wait and see.
Okay. Otuado actually said that they've been talking to a lot of players since March. He actually said that in an interview with the BBC. But maybe that will be for another day. Because what's on my mind is, do you even need to persuade someone who doesn't want to play for your country to come and lace his or her boot for that country? Kayode, let's talk about James. I'll still come to Kayode. Let's talk about the Ashanti Kotoko coach now. He's been saying that Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum, he's been saying that he's been getting offers abroad to come and to dump Ashanti Kotoko. But he said he signed a 2-year contract with Kotoko and is ever ready to fulfill that obligation. But I'm surprised. If a university lecturer is already getting offers after winning just...
If I know where the offers are coming from, I will personally offer to drive him there. Because, see, the truth is, listen, he signed a 2-year contract. But if tomorrow the club stops doing well now, the club will not hesitate before they sack him. So if he has these opportunities,
but he get benefit for being sacked, for his contract being abruptly.
How much would that be compared to what he's going to get? Well, don't forget he's a university lecturer, like you said, and how much is he making? Because at the end of the day, it is what you make.
All the same, if he goes elsewhere and he doesn't do well, look at Pito Mosemani, right? Likely just because of they fired him.
But he did well for them before he left.
But we are supposed to say, okay, this guy did well for us just because he lost a Champions League final. Let's not just, but they did.
That's football. That's life generally, Femi. But for me, I would advise the man to just leave, go to wherever he's going to make his money and make it. Yes.
Ashanti Kotoko will not be happy with you.
Yes, I'm not a fan. I am a fan of. Shebi, you have made me an honorary fan of Real Tamale United. Although that Heart of Oak are my club, and yeah, you know what they will feel is because of Heart of Oak that I said their coach should leave. No, that's not what I mean. No. I'm sorry. Let the coach stay.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, like that prophet.
Let the coach stay. I'm sorry.
Okay, James, let's talk about briefly as we leave the studio now. The producer is already telling us we are on borrowed time. Let's talk about some movement by African players in the transfer market. Of course, we have Henry Onyekuru. Again, for the fourth time, this man is a real journeyman. He's returned to Turkey with Adana Demirspor. Yeah. You know, on 3 occasions, he's been on loan at Galatasaray. But what is really the problem with Onyekuru? Ifeanyi Odeze was saying that each time he goes to Turkey, he plays well. But anytime he leaves Turkey, it seems he just leaves all the good luck in Turkey.
For me, when I look at Onyekuru, it's as if the guy has not really. He has not. It's the potential. We've not really seen the best of him.
Even in the Super Eagles.
The only time we saw the best of Onyekuru was at Eupen in Belgium.
Really where he scored goals.
But from today, you see him in Turkey. Tomorrow, you see him in.
Even he was signed for everything, but he didn't even make it. He didn't play.
So I don't know what's really happening. I don't know when a player start jumping from one club to, you know that at the end of the day, he's not going to. It's as if the career. He's not going to fulfill his career because. If a player move from this club, you just spend a loan, and it's about loan. There's something wrong.
One of our colleagues said Onyekuru is a retired footballer.
There's something wrong, which means I don't know how to say is the agent or I don't know, because if you are not.
Because the agent doesn't help him to play football on the pitch now.
You are not set to today. You see, every transfer, your name always pops up that you are linked to this club, you are linked to that club. Forgot to find. A club and stay there, and it's not even more that you play for.
Maybe if he will stay in Turkey for the rest of his career, he should stay there.
I think you played for Galatasaray, one of the biggest clubs
in Turkey,
a recognized club in Europe. Just find a club, stay there, and you know if it means to just relaunch your career, because the way you are just
at 25,
it's not encouraging.
This is the peak of your career when you should be you should be doing exploits.
Because you are not doing well. Yeah, to me, since that is exploit at Eupen. I don't know how to say it's downward here. I don't know whether that's a very strong word to use, but every transfer season, your name always pumps up. You move to this club, you move to that club. You're always on loan, always on the move. I mean, you just have to sit down with his agent or whatever and sort himself out.
Okay, Kyle, we also saw Chidera Ejuke is now with Hertha Berlin in Germany, you know, because of what is happening in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine. FIFA made that provision for them that if you want to suspend your contract, you can go to any other club in Europe to earn salary and play. But let's see, what do you expect of him in Hertha Berlin now? I think there's no more fear of sound of bombs. I
think Ejuke has not really blown.
In 2 minutes.
He hasn't blown the way his talents promised. And hopefully going to Germany now will help him get that deserved recognition and then invitation back to the national team, because he deserves to be in the national team. You understand? So for me, I hope this is good. He has done well in Russia. No, that's right. But you know what? We are not.
Because CSK,
we are not the kind of people who are so sold on the Russian league. Yeah. But now coming to Belgium, to Germany, we'll get to see more. And probably the national team coaches will see him more too. Because for me, it's about getting into the national team. First and foremost, he has to do well with Hertha Berlin. When he does that, then he can get into the national team. So while we are losing Taiwan Oniyi to the Premier League, we are getting another player in the Bundesliga. So hopefully, I pray for a good time for him.
Okay, finally let's talk about Senegal captain Kalidou Koulibaly. His transfer is almost done to Chelsea now from Napoli. Nobody saw that coming because he was touted to be the next captain of Napoli following the departure of what's his name now? Laurent Insigne. So I didn't see that coming, but it's almost done to Chelsea now.
Yeah, if you eventually move to Chelsea, I think it would be like kind of a swap with Rudiger. They have different styles of play, but I think
he's a much more cultured player. He's a better trained, he's well trained at home. Koulibaly is better trained at home.
In Africa?
No, because he is better trained. He has his head screwed.
Well,
I have not said that. You are making that impression yourself.
Rudiger is from Sierra Leone. Forget that he's playing for Germany.
Whatever.
There are two different kind of players. Because we're more of a cool-headed,
Yeah, he is. Nicer person.
Make sure everybody around him he's not the fastest, but in terms of reading the game,
he does well.
Rudiger is all action. Try to scare his opponent and do. So I think if you join Chelsea.
But if you are playing Premier League, you need to have like we say in local palace in Nigeria.
Somebody like Thiago Silva, there were a lot of talk about.
He's a gentleman.
He's one of the best in the Premier League. So it's not about how fast you can run or how strong physically, because that's one thing about the Premier League. They believe that once you can run and when you have that. You have it inside of you. You're able to weather all this. Okocha is not the strongest or the fastest. Kanu is not one of the strongest or the fastest players, but also what he did in the Premier League.
Okay. I also learned that Rudiger do come to Nigeria. In fact, specifically Lagos sometimes. So if Rudiger catches Kayode in one corner in maybe Agege or even where our office is, I know they are only beg Kayode. So just pray that Rudiger does not watch this particular edition of our program. And to you, our awesome fans, thank you for keeping your comments coming. Of course, we read them and we really appreciate them. And of course, our producer is scrolling some of them right there on the screen. Don't forget that you please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And your comment, don't forget also, like you have been doing, indicate where you are reaching us from. Share our videos. And your criticism are also welcome. And if there's any issue you want us to talk about in your country, you might not even be from Nigeria, from Ghana, wherever you are. If there's any issue regarding football in Africa that you want us to talk about, please bring it to our notice. And of course, we'll do justice to that as far as that is concerned. James, thank you for coming on the show. Kayode, as always.
Thank you.
Our guy, pata pata. And to you, thank you very much for always being there for us. Until the next time, I remain Oluwafemi Ashaolu. Bye for now.